Why Russia might defeat Ukraine militarily. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has been dominating headlines for nearly 2 years. As the world watches this devastating war unfold, one question looms large. Will Russia defeat Ukraine militarily? Today, we'll dive deep into the geopolitical, economic, and military factors shaping this war, and why some analysts believe that Russia may gain the upper hand sooner rather than later. Let's break it down. Number 1. Russia's military size and firepower. First, let's talk about numbers. Russia's military is one of the largest in the world. With over 1 million active personnel and advanced weaponry, including hypersonic missiles and cutting-edge air defense systems, its firepower dwarfs Ukraine's military capabilities. Ukraine, on the other hand, has a smaller army that, despite its incredible resilience, is heavily reliant on Western military aid. While Ukraine has managed to hold its ground in many areas, the disparity in resources is significant. Russia's massive stockpile of ammunition, vehicles, and personnel gives it a long-term advantage in a war of attrition. Number 2. Economic and industrial capacity. War isn't just fought on the battlefield, it's sustained by a nation's economy. Russia's economic resilience, bolstered by its vast reserves of natural resources like oil and gas, plays a crucial role in its military campaigns. Despite Western sanctions, Russia has continued to export energy to global markets, particularly to China, India, and other non-Western nations. This income helps fund its military operations. Meanwhile, Ukraine's economy has been severely crippled by the war, with much of its industrial and agricultural infrastructure destroyed or under Russian control. Number 3. Geopolitical realities, Western support and fatigue. Ukraine's fight has been sustained largely by Western support, billions of dollars in military aid, weapons, and intelligence sharing. However, this support may not be infinite. As the war drags on, Western nations are facing their own economic struggles, rising inflation, and public fatigue. Elections in countries like the US could lead to shifts in foreign policy, potentially reducing support for Ukraine. If this happens, Ukraine could find itself in an even more precarious position. Number 4. Strategic depth, Russia's territorial advantage. Russia's sheer size and strategic depth are significant advantages. Unlike Ukraine, which is fighting on its home turf, Russia can draw from a seemingly endless supply of resources and reserves spread across its vast territory. Even if Ukraine pushes back in some areas, Russia's ability to regroup and resupply gives it a strategic edge. It also allows Russia to maintain pressure on multiple fronts, stretching Ukraine's defensive capabilities. Number 5. Psychological and propaganda warfare. Warfare isn't just physical, it's psychological. Russia has been using propaganda and psychological tactics to weaken Ukrainian morale and undermine Western unity. From cyber attacks to disinformation campaigns, Russia's influence operations have targeted both domestic and international audiences. Meanwhile, Ukraine's population continues to endure the stress of war, displacement, and economic hardship. Over time, this psychological toll could weaken the resolve of both Ukraine and its allies. Number 6. Battlefield realities, the front lines and strategy. On the battlefield, both sides have faced significant losses. However, Russia's strategy of relentless artillery bombardments and slow but steady advances has started to show results in certain areas. Russia's focus on controlling key strategic regions, like Donbas and southern Ukraine, aims to cut Ukraine off from its critical resources and access to the Black Sea. If successful, this would severely weaken Ukraine's ability to sustain its war effort. Number 7. Diplomatic maneuvering, Russia's global alliances. Russia isn't isolated globally. While it faces condemnation from the West, countries like China, India, and Iran have maintained or even strengthened their ties with Moscow. These alliances provide Russia with both economic support and alternative markets for its resources. This global backing, however informal, ensures that Russia doesn't run out of options. Number 8. Challenges for Ukraine. Ukraine's resilience has been remarkable, but the challenges it faces are immense. Its infrastructure has been devastated, millions of people have been displaced, and its economy is in shambles. The longer the war drags on, the harder it becomes for Ukraine to sustain its fight. While Western aid has been vital, Ukraine's dependence on external support makes it vulnerable. Any reduction in aid could tilt the scales in Russia's favor. Number 9. The uncertain role of negotiations. Peace talks have repeatedly broken down, but the question remains: will either side seek a negotiated end to the conflict? Russia's current strategy suggests it's aiming for a military solution rather than a diplomatic one. Ukraine, on the other hand, insists on reclaiming its lost territories. Until both sides see negotiation as the only viable option, the conflict is likely to continue, with Russia leveraging its military and economic advantages to push for a favorable outcome. Number 10. What does victory look like? For Russia, victory might mean consolidating control over eastern and southern Ukraine, effectively splitting the country. For Ukraine, victory means reclaiming all occupied territories and maintaining its sovereignty. But at what cost? The war has already caused immense suffering and destruction, and any victory will leave scars that last for generations. Conclusion: a complex, tragic reality. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is a tragedy for both nations, with no easy answers or outcomes. While Russia's military and economic advantages may suggest it could emerge victorious, the resilience and determination of Ukraine and its allies shouldn't be underestimated. This isn't just a war between two countries. It's a clash of ideologies, a test of alliances, and a reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict. What do you think? Will Russia achieve its military goals, or will Ukraine defy the odds? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into global events. Until next time, stay informed and stay hopeful.